I've heard these called a romance in the workplace agreement, a love contract, a consensual relationship agreement. But what we're actually talking about here is preventing drama, protecting your business, and keeping things professional. Because whether it's dating, a serious relationship, or just an occasional hookup situation, you know what I'm talking about, relationships with coworkers outside of work can impact the workplace. The reality is that people spend more time with their coworkers than with just about anyone else in their lives. So it's no surprise when something more develops. I used to joke in my training sessions that the heart wants what the heart wants. But what the HR department wants is a policy in place before things go south. Because not every workplace romance has a fairy tale ending. Some of them fizzle out quietly, but others, well, they go down in flames and bring a lawsuit with them. So today, we're going to break down why a workplace romance policy and agreement is a must-have for your company, what it should include, and how to implement it so your office doesn't turn into a reality TV show. So first, let's talk about why these agreements matter. What's the worst that could happen? Well, here are 3 biggest risks when employees start mixing business with pleasure. Number 1, there are power imbalances and favoritism. If a manager is dating a direct report, there's an immediate issue. Even if the relationship is totally above board, perception matters. Other employees may assume that promotions, raises, or assignments are based on who you're dating rather than job performance. And this creates tension, resentment, and if it's bad enough, legal trouble. Number 2, harassment and legal risks, aka lawsuit land. Here's the worst case scenario. A subordinate later claims they felt pressured into the relationship. Maybe they were promised promotions, raises, or special treatments. Quid pro quo harassment, anyone? Maybe they felt like saying no wasn't an option. And just like that, you've got a full-blown sexual harassment case on your hands. Number 3, the post-breakup office drama that nobody wants. The best case, the relationship ends quietly and everyone moves on. The worst case, your whole office gets front row seats to a breakup that should have stayed private. You don't want employees whispering at the water cooler about who's avoiding who in meetings or who's suddenly being left out of key decisions. The bottom line is without a clear workplace romance policy, you're just hoping for the best, and that's a risky game. So hopefully I have convinced you by now that this is something you need. Let's talk about what goes into a solid romance in the workplace agreement. Number 1, a disclosure requirement. Employees must inform HR or whoever is the designated person in your company if they're in a relationship or anything beyond friendship with a coworker. And this isn't about gossip. It's about managing conflicts of interest. No, HR doesn't want to hear about the date at Olive Garden. Let's keep it professional. Number 2, no manager-subordinate relationships. If you're a boss, dating someone who reports to you is not a good look. The best practice is one of the employees transfers to another department. And if a transfer isn't possible, at the very least, reporting structures should change so that the manager has no direct authority over the other person. Number 3, professional conduct expectations. Things like no PDA in the break room, no flirty Slack messages during team meetings, no public fights in the workplace. The agreement should make it clear. Keep it professional at work. Number 4, harassment and retaliation protections. And this one is huge. If a breakup happens, both parties must agree that they will maintain professionalism. They will not retaliate or let personal issues affect work. And if things get uncomfortable, employees should know that they can report concerns without fear of punishment. Number 5, clear consequences for violations. If someone breaks the agreement, what happens? Does it result in a warning, a transfer, termination? Employees need to know that the rules are real and apply to everyone. A strong agreement isn't about controlling people's lives. It's about protecting the company and keeping the workplace fair and professional. Okay, so now you have a great policy. How do you actually get people to follow it? Well, here's how to make sure your policy doesn't just sit in the handbook collecting dust. Number one, put it in the employee handbook. Make sure every new hire reads and signs off on the policy. And that way, if someone pretends they didn't know, you have proof that they did. Number two, include it in training sessions. Train managers on how to handle workplace relationships professionally. Spoiler alert, ignoring them and hoping for the best is not the right answer. Number three, create safe and confidential reporting systems. Employees need to feel safe disclosing relationships or raising concerns. The policy should be clear about who to talk to and how to report misconduct. Number four, enforce it fairly and consistently. If the CEO's assistant is dating the CEO, the same rules should apply as if it were two entry-level employees. No double standards, no exceptions for senior leadership. This is about setting clear expectations and making sure everyone is on the same page. That way there's no confusion, no favoritism, and hopefully no drama. So let's recap. Workplace romances happen. They can get messy, fast. A workplace romance policy protects your company from drama, favoritism claims, and legal trouble. If you don't have one yet, now is the time. And if you need help drafting one, AmplifiedHR has your back. Reach out to team@amplifiedhr.com to grab one for your company, along with a whole team of HR pros at your side 24/7.